Hello, everyone.
Hello everyone, how are you? How is your Italian quarantine going, or how are you doing wherever you are right now in the world? For this time, the format is again new, as you can see. WhatsApp World format has changed so many times these days, and this is a new initiative from RadioLuiss guys, and we are going to be on Skype this time recording, and you will watch us.
Yeah,
Um,
this radio podcast is pre-recorded, so the two faces that you see right now and you listen to are not live. This is our past selves talking some days or hours ago.
Exactly, and things might have already changed because they are changing so fast, actually. And for us, it feels a bit weird because we're missing our music. The whole mood is not as it is supposed to be, but in these days, things are changing, so we kind of have to find a way to adapt. But we don't want to stop, and no one at the radio wants to stop. We don't want to stop our lives. That's basically so we need to find new ways to do it, and let's give this new project a try. We tried to make it to find new ideas to make this work. And we want to thank you all the guys from the radio for giving us the opportunity to go somehow live, even though we don't have the means we used to have. But
Yeah,
yeah,
basically, the story about this podcast will be like that. We will just talk about some topics that we discussed some days before. It will be a straight talking. You will feel like you interact with a group of people speaking like your friends or everything. We will try to make it like this. We have some ideas about how it will work in order to make you interact with us during this pre-recorded session. But anyways, the format for this week will be like that. You will have to suffer listening to both of us for 30 minutes. No, I'm joking. And we will try
so
to make you feel entertained with different topics as Livia will start right now.
exactly. No, and another mean, like we have a lot of time in these days. So we finally decided to give this program an Instagram page. And maybe we can also have some lives in there. And maybe it could be a way for you to get in touch with us more easily and give us suggestions there, and we can talk there. So basically, guys, now if today we just gave you an overview of what's happening in the world, it would be already overrated for tomorrow because things are changing so fast. And Evan, I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel
Exactly,
that
exactly.
like we are
It's
in
like
day of
if we say
quarantine number.
something right now, it will change tomorrow. It will change even the next hour. You know, every country has its own way to speak about, to say about the cases and everything. Like things change rapidly. We don't even know. Maybe tomorrow they will find the medicine to cure this. Maybe we have to stay home for 1 year. Nothing
Yeah.
is certain.
This feeling of uncertainty personally gives me a little bit of anxiety, and I think that we need to find ways to like fight this thing. And
Yeah,
so
basically,
what we
it's
thought would be cool, and what we can do from our position is to use this network we actually have to hear what is going on in the world from our point of view. And maybe next time we might let someone join this call from Australia or from Dubai or our friends from different parts of the world and ask them
what's up
what is
world.
happening in the
Let's ask
world
them
where they
what's
are.
up world.
You know, I saw in India they stopped tourism. Most places are closing right now. In Australia, they haven't shut down and the lockdown didn't start yet, but they're inviting people to stay home. The elderly should stay home, but they still let people into schools.
Yeah,
Um,
I spoke with
but
a friend of
what
mine
do
who is in
I
Australia.
know from Italy? I can only tell you what is happening here. But what we are trying to say is like we want to invite you to call us and to speak out because that's what we can do for now. And even if this thing might make us feel like lonely sometimes, I think that, I don't know what you think about it, Evan, but I think that like more than ever now, we're totally all in this together somehow, because like, okay, me not going out right now influences everyone else, and like the whole world will be in the same situation soon. And the most stressful thing is that we don't really know what is going to happen next, and how fast is it going to change, and if we are going to find a cure for this maybe tomorrow, if we're going to stay at home for 6 months, if we're going to stay home for 2 weeks, if tomorrow, or I don't know. Also the exams, we still don't know what to do, and it may be difficult to find motivation to study. I don't know, how are you dealing with that? Because
Exactly. Thing is, being isolated from the outside world makes you reconsider like what is important for you to, what is important to do to keep, first of all, your mentality stable, to not get crazy when you're isolated in four walls, especially in cases like me, unfortunately, that I am basically alone at home. There is nobody else. Yeah, alone squad. It's really important to find ways to cure this boredom, let's say, because it's really essential to not let this time to waste. Anyway, you know that we will have a lot of time to spend alone. We have a lot of time to find things to occupy ourselves, things that we can do to spend our time more fun. For example, for me, one example of it is this radio show. I just spend my free time doing this radio show, and I don't feel really bored during these days. And there are a lot of things that people can do actually to spend their time while they are on quarantine, but it's important, first of all, to know your preferences,
to
what makes
discover
you
them
feel.
maybe as well. I think that we basically have no excuses, because I was thinking about how this situation influences people, like, okay, elderly people, or the very young children, or worse, even worse, people in the world who right now don't have a home. We were talking the last time in the radio, in the live radio at Luiss, about the refugees. Like, we have no clue what is happening to their lives, and it's so dangerous that we are right now really self-centered and panicking about the fact that we are closed in our house, which is of course not good, because after a while in my house I will freak out. But I think that we have no excuses, because we are the luckiest in this situation, I believe, somehow, because we still have our online classes going on. We can follow lectures, and we are always complaining during our normal lives about the fact that we don't have enough time to do this, to cultivate our passions. I think it's time now for us to come up with new ideas, new projects. We have a lot of time, more time for ourselves. I know I don't want this to sound like Alice in Wonderland, but we need to take the best out of it, and this will never happen to us again, probably, hopefully, in some way. But this is a way also for us to like see what we were taking for granted, and develop new things. Like, I would personally use this time to do all the things, um, just to take advantage of this situation somehow. Think of all the possible things we could do with all this time, and maybe at the end of this period, the world would be full of new projects, because the youngest people had a lot of time to think about themselves instead of like freaking out or complaining about staying home. Of course, we miss each other.
Of course.
Socializing
Exactly.
is a source of our imagination.
Socializing is a part of the human nature. Socializing is something that comes from ourselves, From the moment that we started fixing the issues of eating back in the caveman age, people wanted to to socialize. People wanted to meet other people, to exchange ideas, to exchange opinions about things. Right now, I can totally understand people who, let's say, they feel like trapped or like isolated because of a source that they cannot handle. And it's normal because this situation actually is not a situation that would happen to the world while in peace. It feels like a war kind of like situation. Even the measurements that are taken, a lot of countries like in Italy, they force people to stay home, and it's not something that should happen in peace areas, but it's mandatory when things go really bad to follow rules. That's something really important. I cannot understand the impact that this would happen if there was no regulation for that. I cannot imagine if there was no authorities saying these things, people would panic, freak out.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good that someone is giving us rules, but it's also shocking that people are still not following them. Like on one hand, we have
Think so?
governments in
Do you think
there.
people, for example, in Italy, do you think the people in Italy don't follow the rules?
Yes, unfortunately, it's we're having problems with this, and
The
this
problem
whole act
is
is about it's a global thing. It's a global thing, and what I'm feeling now is that okay, I don't know what's really going on in another country, but they also don't know what is happening in here. Italy is probably now the country in the worst situation, and it's also difficult for me as an Italian citizen that I'm living here and living this to understand what is going on. And maybe last week it was just the first shock. Now we're already understanding more what is actually going on, and we just need to basically find ways to support each other in this. And of course, okay, for example, me and you are the perfect case and example because we're both home alone. But yeah,
we're home alone and far from our
each
actual
other
home.
is key. Is key. I would really invite every one of us to support this kind of initiatives. And on our Instagram page, we will try to provide you all the activities that we think we're nice. And we will try to bring in this program next time through Skype, or we'll try to find more interactive ways to keep in contact, because now more than ever, we really have to stick together. We really have to stick together and I don't know, talk more, even more than before, and realize maybe that we were not talking enough earlier. I don't know. I don't think
I
that
think actually
destroying
that
things
this
is
situation creates a feeling of anxiety. And there are a lot of people who struggle actually about that. They don't know what's going to happen and they feel really stressed. I don't know how you experience that. Would you like to share how do you handle the anxiety that you go through? Because everyone, at least for a little bit, they feel anxious about the situation.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't.
Of course, I'm not saying that.
There are two reactions. One can be pretending it's not happening and underestimate the thing and just laugh about it all the time. And
Exactly what happened
I
in
am the
Italy 2 weeks
first
ago.
one. I am the first one who thinks that chilling and laughing is still important, but we also need to take care of ourselves and like build constructive routine and in this new lifestyle, and stupid things that we might underrate now because we think they're obvious, but in the longer term everything might be not so obvious anymore, and all this panic might turn into something very bad if we don't really take care of ourselves without being too self-centered. And so personally, my way of taking care of my mental health in this moment of isolation is also taking care of others. Like, that's why I really emphasize this fact that we need to stay united. You know, there are people fighting every day in our country, in the hospitals. We don't even know what is going on in hospitals. We can't even really imagine. And in our daily lives, the reaction is, let's not think about it, for probably most of us, okay? Because we don't want, it's stressful. It is stressful. Seeing those images might also be negative and influence us badly, because it's also not good, in fact, to stay at home depressed for this reason or get too anxious about it. So I think we need to be aware of what is going on,
but not panic about
it, and try to build new things, to listen more to each other and to speak out. Personally, proposing new activities. There's this friend of mine we'll try to talk and get in contact with next time. He will present his project as soon as possible. We really want you guys to feel involved in our activities, not because I mean, we have nothing better to do, also because of that, because now we're actually we're all bored, but that's the only way to make it out of it, you know. We're all missing this, and we don't have to close into ourselves. We really need to speak out and listening. I'm in this
Of course, it's really important in this situation to speak about it.
I love music. I listen to music all day. You ask me, like, how do I do it? In the real matter of fact, I don't know. I try to sport, eat healthy, stay hydrated, stuff like that. That's important. We take it for granted, but like, if you forget to drink water, then you feel bad and you're like, oh my God, I'm home alone. And no, we need to try to stay. That's also part of the anxiety, because you wouldn't feel like you have to do it if the situation wasn't like that. But we have to take care of ourselves, and then share our taste in music, like stupid stuff we like to do every day, and that we think we just do in our daily lives without even noticing. Like, I rediscovered Anna Marie. I love Anna Marie. I found out more about her this summer, and so I started watching some interviews also for the program, because I like to listen to interviews of different authors before doing the program, because that's the real selves. And a few years ago, or last year, I guess, she made this hashtag, and it was "Speak Your Mind." And of course, it wasn't connected with the COVID, but I would dare everyone to do this again and speak your mind. Really, hashtag "Speak Your Mind" should be out again, because we want to be strong. You know, we want to be okay. No, I'm not suffering. I'm isolated. I'm home. We can make it, but we are. It's scary. It can be scary, and giving things for granted now can make us grumpy, can make us close in ourselves. And this is a place in which any time, if you feel like it, we can talk more and we can exchange. And I hope this will work and improve somehow if you're up for it and come up with different activities. Now, Evan, I said a little bit of what I try to do, not to do, of course, apart from studying, which is main part of my days, but it's also not healthy to do just that, because you will freak out at some point. Anyway, so you did a very nice thing for to help us make it through, and you started cooking.
Okay. I really hope my mother and my grandmother doesn't see what I did, because they are going to kill me. But basically, what I try to do is to introduce some traditional dishes from Greece, cook them for people, and show how they are cooked. It was the first time I ever made this dish. Some things didn't go as well as planned, but the result was really nice. The people who tried this said that it tasted delicious, And I don't know the date that it will come out. Maybe it's already out. I don't know when this podcast will be on air, but I would like to let me know how if you tried this recipe, because what I did basically was I did a tutorial how to cook a traditional Greek food, and so I would like to see the the feedback. I would like to ask people to tell me how they think about it. Speaking about entertainment, let's talk about these Instagram challenges, shall we?
Yeah, I had
Let's
like
go.
already 10, 15, I don't know how many. It's hard to keep up with them. I'm sorry for those of you who I didn't reply for the challenge, because
I
the
have.
last one was, yeah, more arts on social media. Those are all great initiatives, and it's good to keep to stay active, but we would
Yes,
spend a lot of time on social media anyway, right? That's the first thing we do when
course.
we're
And that's why these things are very popular right now. Which is your favorite one?
okay, I'm gonna lie about it. The plank challenge. I still have to do it. I'm not gonna do the
Come
plank
on, come
challenge,
on.
guys. I'm embarrassing. I'm embarrassed about it, and I'm embarrassing doing the plank
The plank
challenge.
challenge.
I don't want to do that, but I will do that, because yeah, at some
Do you
point
want to
she
explain what the
takes
plank
it.
challenge is? Though? Maybe
What?
some people don't know what the plank challenge is.
Yeah, basically you have to count until 20 in the position of a plank, which I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, because I'm the best person for these things. But yeah, we should give it a try. We should give it a try. Let's rediscover ourselves, discover new talents in this period of boredom. I think it's
Yeah.
a good initiative. I can't be.
For me, the most initiative one, the one that made me laugh and think like, okay, that's kind of creative, is the one with the toilet paper.
Yeah,
Have you seen it?
I saw. I don't know if I say your name. I don't know. I think he won't mind. Francesco Musco doing the toilet paper challenge really made me laugh a lot. Like, thank you for that.
Yes. It's a really
That was
fun challenge. It's
fairly.
actually with a product that a lot of people freak out about. It's really crazy though. Why toilet paper?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a clear sign we're going bonkers already. But yeah, that's why we need to
Why toilet
canalize
paper?
this energy. I also saw Miley Cyrus today when I opened Instagram, and she's also launching. Many superstars are launching these messages, and I think it's of course good
Yes.
for them to like use their position to give this message of not um, letting this negative things influence us negatively, but like canalize it in this in something, to make something out of it, despite the situation might be tough and everything. So guys, I'm not even sure what time is it. How long have we been speaking?
You will not know it though, but you still have 5 more minutes, let's say, to amaze those people with your knowledge and your whole experiences from life. And
No,
also,
that's
um,
meant to do. That's not what we're meant to do. I think that now we should start. We should start closing. And after all this talking, I would just like to say that, guys, it was the first time also for us doing this new format through Skype, and it was basically a try. And we just wanted to let you know that we have many plans um, to try to make this situation as much enjoyable as possible in a way. And we would really like to keep this project going on of like calling people from different parts of the world and let them tell us what it's like in their country, which is a nice way, according to us, to stay all together and have insights, because I think there are some tips we could give maybe to what to do and not to do. And from the not to do point of view, there's definitely not spending too much time looking at fake news on social media, because we spend a lot of time on Instagram probably these days.
But not always gather information, always read to the news, but filter all the information that you get. Don't listen to catastrophologists or like conspiracy theorists that say we're all going to die. I don't know. I'm not judging anything. I'm just saying, just filter your information. Just make sure that what you read and what you start to think about the situation is true. Not don't accept every information that you get as facts, because usually people during these periods, we've seen this in the past, they try to take advantage of the situation and either like spread fake positive messages or like fake news that say positive things, or even the opposite, spread things that I don't know, about secret plans and everything. Still, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying, just filter every information that you get and don't let non-verified information stick to your head.
Let's stay active in our research, and let's just not, we should do it. We should have done it before this, but maybe that's the panic and the anxiety of freaking out now will really actually made us do this. And like when we scroll through anything we have on these devices we have, let's just be picky, a little bit more picky, because what we see might really influence our day. And if we stay at home, it's different than if we spend it with friends, because it might be bad in the long term. And again, we don't know how long is this going to be. And what is actually really going on. Not even the school let us know what about the exams. We found out yesterday and the exam is in 5 days. We might be mad about it, but we need to adapt and we need to make the most out of it and keep studying and everything. And most of all, I think it's crazy that people really are not doing it yet totally. The least we can do is staying at home. For all the, I don't know about...
Nobody's out anyways. Why do you want to go out if nobody is? Imagine, you say you want to be out to meet people, but nobody's outside.
I understand. I don't want to blame people or judge or point my finger, because I might understand that an old woman must feel very lonely, and she's from different culture. She must not know totally, she might not have access to all the information we have, and she will just go out, and or children need to feel the need to go out, or you really need to walk your dog. But guys, let's limit this. I went to the supermarket yesterday, and I was a bit shocked, because after like a long time I didn't go out to prevent myself and the others from anything. And I think we should really limit the time we spend outside totally, unless it's really necessary, guys. It's not necessary for us now. We want this to end as soon as possible. And going against it is something crazy I really don't understand. And there are activities we can do at home in our houses. And as I said, what we can do is try to take advantage of this period that will probably or hopefully never happen again, and try to make something good out of it despite the situation is.
And with that beautiful message from Livia, it's with regrets to say that our show is coming to an end. Thank you so much for listening to this unique, let's say, structure.
unique and that makes me
Thanks for
nostalgic
having
about putting
me.
music on stuff. But yeah, we will survive through this period, and we have many other activities like yoga classes that you might join, and other activities to, like, there are museums online you could visit. I don't know if you don't know, if you might say, okay, I want to read a book but I don't have it at home. I've got news for you guys. The UNESCO just put the link gave us access to the global digital library, which is good. So we have a lot of material. There are things to do also at home.
It's not unsocializing to stay home. It's responsible. And with that, we would like to end this podcast. Thank
See
you
you
very
soon,
much for
guys. See you
listening.
next time with guests from Australia, Dubai, and who knows what this crazy epidemics is going to give to us. I don't know. Things are changing fast, but
Let's hope for the best. And as my fellow Italian people say, andrà tutto bene.
Andrà tutto bene. Non ci demoralizziamo. That's too difficult. Thank you to all the audience. Bye, guys. See you next time.